guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for standing by. If you want to be part of this family where we make mathematics and biology a booster subject, please do this. Hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the notification bell below. Okay, today's tutorial is about how to pass mathematics papers coming this KCSE. I want to start by saying that unlike other subjects, mathematics has affected the majority of the student performance, overall performance, especially in the overall grade, and as a result, it has affected on the choice and qualification of the courses they want to pursue. And you find that most of the students fail to do the course that they aspired or wished to do because they are failed in mathematics, because mathematics is one of the subjects that matters when it comes to cluster subject. There is no specific formula that has been formulated for you to pass in mathematics. So what I am coming to do in this tutorial is to give you the guidelines towards preparation of your final papers in mathematics. So what matters most is not that you should be a bright student. Oh no. What matters and what is very crucial is the overall attitude that you have towards mathematics itself, how you prepare for that exam, and how you revise for that exam, and finally the approach that you take during that exam. These are a few among other things that we are going to discuss in this tutorial. I know there are so many guidelines and approaches that you can do in order for you to pass exam, but I have identified a few of them and come up with just 8 points that I want you to apply as you approach your final exam and see the magic that it can do. But if you have other guidelines that you can add, please remember to comment down below so that we can help a majority of our candidates. So having said that, I want us to embark on these guidelines. And the guideline number 1 is having the right attitude and mindset. When we talk of having the right attitude and mindset, we are talking about that bad attitude that you have towards mathematics and towards mathematics teachers. And this bad attitude has been identified as the major source of poor performance of mathematics, not only in our country but globally. And therefore, for you to pass that exam, that mathematics paper, you need to have positive attitude. In order to pass mathematics papers, you need to have the right mindset. When we are talking about the right mindset, we are talking about registering that mathematics is easy in your mind. If you register that mathematics is difficult in your mind, then of course you are going to fail. Fall in love with mathematics, even at that very final moment. And once you do that, my dear friends, I assure you, you're going to pass in that exam. When you have that good mood, even before you open that mathematics paper, I assure you, you're going to pass. Try this guideline and it is going to work very well. Guideline number 2 is that avoid competing with others. When you are doing your final exam, you need to be yourself. Don't have anybody else in your mind. What you need to focus on is passing that mathematics paper. So about others, that peer that you have been struggling to compete since you went to school should stop. Instead, you focus on abilities by setting challenges that you can comfortably overcome. But trying to compete that colleague of yours, trying to compete with that peer in your exam room, you get it wrong, okay? Because every time that you try to compete with your peer, and then when you look around and you see how they are consistently writing, and in yourself you find that you are blank, then that is where you begin feeling that mathematics paper. The thing is, start with easy questions to difficult questions. When we talk of easy questions and difficult questions in this area, what you are supposed to do, my dear friends, is to start by marking easy questions and start working on the easy questions, because there is no law that says in order for you to pass in mathematics, you need to start with the first question going forward to the last question. Oh no. So my advice as your tutor is, please start by marking those easy questions, because when you start by attempting the easy questions, one thing, they will increase your morale, and the second thing is that they are going to save time. All right? Another thing is time consciousness. When we talk of time consciousness, we are talking of time management. It is very important to manage your time when it comes to do with the mathematics exams. When you are sitting for that mathematics exam, you start by managing your time. How do you manage your time? We have seen that in the previous guideline is that we start by marking easy questions, or we start by attempting easy questions. That is one of ways of managing time, because you are going to save time. You not keep dwelling on the difficult question and waste a lot of time. But another thing is to look at the marks awarded to each question. Marks allocation to each question helps you to guide you on the amount of time that you're going to take in that particular question. For example, most of the questions in section A, they carry around 3 to 4 marks and maximum of 5 marks. And questions in section B, they carry 10 marks. So, of course, it goes without saying that 10 marks question require more time than a 3 marks question. A 3 marks question require less time than a 5 marks question. So you need to organize yourself when it comes to time consciousness, especially in mathematics. You need to be a super time manager. Another guideline is that read instructions carefully. A majority of the students, even myself, assume that instructions that are given in other exams, like end of term exam, continuous assessment exams, are the same instructions that are given in KCSE exams. No, there is no assuming when it comes to KCSE. Remember, this is your last chance to sit for that exam. So assumption should be out of your mind. Read those general instructions very carefully. When we talk of general instructions, are the instructions that are given in every paper, whereby you are given specific instructions in every paper. So don't assume. Read those instructions. Who knows? Maybe you are told only to do one question and you pass your exam. Don't assume. Read those instructions very carefully. So when we talk of instructions, we are not talking of instructions on the paper. There is also instructions on specific questions. For example, you are told take pi to be 22/7. goes without saying that you may take or not take. It's simple instruction, but we ignore. And that 1 mark is the one that might make you get grade E or make you score grade A. That 1 mark that we ignore in the instruction. Taking means you take or you don't take. Simple English. But when you are told use, it's very different from saying take. When you are saying use pi to be 3.142, you have no alternative but to use that which you have been given in that particular question. When you are told to leave your answer to the nearest a certain significant figure or decimal place, then it means you do so. And if you don't do so, that accuracy marks is gone. When you are told to leave your answer or to give your answer to the nearest shades or number, it means you do so. Simple instructions that we ignore as candidates means a lot to passing that mathematics paper. Alright? Guideline number 6 says, familiarize yourself with the mathematics papers. So far you should know that in mathematics we have 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2, and each paper has section A and section B. It doesn't matter whether it is paper 1 or paper 2. In section A, we have question 1 to question number 16. And this is the section that it is instructing that all the questions are compulsory, and it means that the candidate should attempt all the questions. And they carry 50 marks. Section A carries section A carries 50 marks, and section B, whether it is paper 1 or paper 2, start from number 17 to number 24. Those are 8 questions, but the candidate is supposed to attempt only 5 questions so that you can have a maximum of 50 marks, so that an entire paper will sum up to 100%. So, having said that, when we talk of section B, this is where I want to emphasize that you are strictly required to do only 5 questions. But in the event that a candidate attempts more than 5 questions, the examiner has all the right. When you talk of the examiner, we are talking of the person who is marking your paper. The examiner has all the right to mark the first 5 questions. It doesn't matter the marks that you acquire. So it is very important for you to make very sober decisions when it comes to selecting questions in section B. And I have a template to show you how this can be dangerous. With me here, I have candidate X and the kind of questions that they are attempting in section B. And I also have candidate Y. Okay, now I want to start with candidate X. This is a candidate who have chosen exactly only 5 questions. Question 17, question 20, question 22, 23, and 24. And they have a subtotal of 31. Alright? In question 17, this candidate has scored 10, 27, 22, 3, 23, 6, and 24, 5, and a subtotal of 31. And I have this other candidate who have decided to attempt 6 questions, and he or she have choosing number 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, and 24, as you can see on the screen. So there is an extra question. This candidate attempted number 19 but realized that 19 is very difficult and they forgot to cancel, and they went ahead to do question up to number 24. So the examiner will only consider the first 5, but remember, all the questions must be marked. But when it comes to allocation of the marks, only 5 that will be considered. So this 10 marks is considered to be an extra question, and therefore it is not considered. So the examiner will take the first 5 questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is an extra question. You know you could be a medics or an architect because of 10 marks. Please make sure you make the right decision when it comes to choice of questions. On to the next guideline. Revise in advance. Now that you have that timetable with you, and you know the time and the day you're going to sit, whether it is paper 1 or paper 2 of your mathematics paper, please revise in advance, like 2 weeks before. Do you know what important this has? It gives you time to polish the areas that you find difficulties in, and also to avoid rush hour phobia. Do revise in advance 2 weeks before or even earlier. Okay? So revision should be done in advance if you want to pass in exam, and that is why the council always submit that timetable for you. On to the last but very important guideline. Familiarize yourself with mathematics tools. There are tools that are allowed in exam, like the mathematical tables, the scientific calculators, the transparent, underline the word transparent, long ruler. When you talk of long ruler, we are talking of 30 centimeter ruler, and finally, mathematical set. I know every parent wants to make sure that their students or their daughter or their son will pass this exam. And what they do, they buy new tools. You bought new calculator, you bought new ruler, you bought new blah blah blah. So even you yourself, you want to use new tools. And now, because you don't want to tamper with them, you keep them safe, but you start using them during the KCSE. That is very wrong. Familiarize yourself. Make sure your calculator is set in the right mode. Make sure you have the right ruler. Can you use it? Make sure you confirm the formulas that are in that mathematical table. Don't assume that this new mathematical table is the same as the one that you have been using, and therefore you don't have to master some formula. No, you might find that the formula that was there in the old mathematical table is not in the new mathematical table. You see the mess that you commit to yourself. So familiarize yourself with the mathematical tools. All right? Please remember to do so. Please. So guys, those are the guidelines that I had prepared during this tutorial. But just as I said, if you have more, remember to comment below. But for those 8 of them, try to apply them and you'll thank me later. But above all, remember to put God first in all you undertake. I want to wrap it up at this point, but remember to share to as many parents, to as many candidates, and to as many teachers as they prepare for their candidate during this final exam. It's a lot of love, it's a bye, and God bless you.